EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
#MSW.
You may begin to feel anxious or excited.
Honest, deliberate, engaging, uncensored.
High dosage administration can cause adverse reactions.
And most importantly, independent in mind and execution.
This is a normal response. Are you ready?
Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Mamelodi Sundowns are the champions.
The Sundowns assistant coach, Coach Steve Gompela.
I think before one could go anywhere, I should also echo the same sentiment with you on the passing of the great Colonel Hendricks, and saying to the family, to friends, the fans, loved ones, may his soul rest in peace, and that they gather strength and accept the inevitable, because all of us, one or the other, it is a route that all of us will follow. Sad that he had to meet his demise so early, but I'm sure the impact he made in people's lives, even at his young age, like Tupac, would remain unforgettable. May his soul rest in peace.
What a start to the second half.
What a try.
One-on-one opportunity. Colonel Hendricks
Took a lead. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
These teams should be concerning. What a ball that is for Hendricks.
Friend Hilton Smith joins us on the line. Friend, you've read, you've seen, you're hearing now Namsha's presentation of her side of the story. What do you make of it, and is it fair?
I don't want to get another letter, so I'm choose my words, but Namsla is just so sad that once again women are being victimized. We need all these women's groups to come and support Namsla. She is a fantastic lady.
Let me quickly go to Buti, who's on the line, former NEC member.
I'm one of the people that kept saying to Namta, walk away because you are too good for this nonsense. It's heartbreaking, but not surprising. But this is a result, of course, when there is simply no systems that run an organization. The president says this is what I like, or this is how I don't like the smell of your perfume or everything collapses. So I'm not surprised.
Robert Marawa, live on 947. Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live. #MSW.
It is the Friday edition of #MSW Marawa Sports Worldwide, proudly brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
Let's go.
The moments you remember. The games you can't forget. Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets.
Well, it's a big weekend that we're heading into, isn't it? Not only is it a massive weekend, we've also got a massive superstar coming into the studio. He is here already warming up. I'm telling you, it is William Coolcat Shongwe. Somebody on Twitter, hey, KK, just reminded me that back in the good old days, we used to call him Juicy Lips. I have no idea why. One thing that's going to be juicy, though, is Formula One with series leader Oscar Piastri maintaining his cool demeanor when he played down his prospects of claiming dominant fourth consecutive win at this weekend's Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Now, the McLaren driver, who has opened up a 16-point lead ahead of teammate Lando Norris in the driver's title race, said that he expected a more difficult race than in Miami 2 weeks ago.
I feel like I'm driving well at the moment. I feel like the team's doing a really good job with, helping me get the most out of myself, get the most out of the car, and clearly the car is very strong. So, I think we have the potential to have a really good year, but I'm not too concerned about that at the moment. I'm just trying to win more races. I expect the competition to be closer than it was in Miami, and we saw in qualifying that the competition was on our heels and ahead of us. So, we still have to make sure we go out and execute everything as well as we can, because if we falter a little bit, then we've got plenty of competition that can beat us.
And also, Lewis Hamilton has admitted, though, that he had underestimated how difficult it would be for him to adapt to life with Ferrari after 12 years with Mercedes. Now, the 40-year-old, the 7-time world champion, won 6 of his championships with the Silver Arrows before his sensational exit last year.
We're taking a beating in the media and people's comments, people judging, and I'm just proud that each weekend they turn up with their heads up. They try, they give absolutely everything, and that's all you can ever ask. 99% of them don't actually know really what's going on. 99% of them, or probably 100% of them, don't know what I've been through to get where I am today. And I think the other things I often find myself having to just remind myself, I have won 7 world titles. I have won more than any other driver in history. I have to remind myself that I also have done great things. And whilst things are not always going to be great, and we're having this period of time, things will get better.
Positive reminders indeed. Barcelona fans were celebrating last night and into today with them clinching the 28th La Liga title as the teenage wonder kid Lamine Yamal scored another stunning goal in a 2-0 derby win at Espanyol.
Goes inside again, he'll finally be able to get a curling shot off and score for Barca. The big man for the big occasion, Lamine Yamal, scores once again.
Wow.
Cutting inside is the first time he's been allowed to get inside after 3 defenders had covered him in the initial stages of this second half. Where there is a will, there is a way, and where there is Lamine Yamal, there is a goal. A curling effort into the top left corner. It's Espanyol 0, Barcelona 1. Taken the La Liga title for the 28th time. Final score, Espanyol 0, Barcelona 2. And there are these incidents carrying on. Graham, on balance, deserving champions, Barcelona.
I think, without question, they have been Spain's best side. It's a 3-trophy season now. La Liga was the big test because of the need to be so regular, so consistent, to keep the squad fit. But I think what's really important for football in general, for culés out there, for Barca fans, congratulations.
Yes, certainly congratulations to Barcelona. Well, moving away from Spain to England now, Crystal Palace boss Oliver Glasner remains pretty confident, though, to create history with this side in the FA Cup final against Manchester City tomorrow. The Eagles have never won a major trophy, and there's only one more match standing between them and history. It is their third shot, though, at the FA Cup final, their first in 1990. Well, that saw them beaten 1-0 by Manchester United in a replay after a memorable 3-3 draw that catapulted as well Ian Wright to the national frame. Now, United got the better of them, if you remember, 9 years ago, winning 2-1 after extra time.
Yes, I do, but to be honest, on the screen we win every single game. So when we prepare and analyze the other team, we always have the right solution. But it's not so easy sometimes to execute it in the right way, because they are back in shape again. They had very good results and performances in the last couple of weeks. Players coming back from injuries, and also we don't know how they are going to play. Here Haaland is back, but they have so many, especially in their offense, so many also different players. You can see with the attention, with the capacity of the stadium, and then the national anthem is played before, and it's just something special. I like this here, also we're talking about it because there is a pitch over there is from a school, and the kids were playing there, and then everybody wants to play a final at Wembley, and so we all are in this privileged situation that we can experience it, and it's just a lot of joy and positivity about this final.
The Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta says that a decision will be made tomorrow on whether or not Kai Havertz can be involved in Sunday's home game against Newcastle.
We're going to decide that tomorrow. So he's done certain parts of the sessions in the last 2 days. He looks in great shape, but I think it's more a shout of, first of all, the medical staff, the doctor especially, giving the clearance, and then how Kai actually feels to contribute if he's required. Unbelievable. I think his work rate, the work that he's done as well, a lot of credit to to all the medical staff for the work that they've done throughout the last few months, because between them they've been pushing each other. We know how important Kai is for us, and the fact that he looks in great shape. I think he's improved a lot of the metrics that are very important for a striker to give himself the best chance, and you see the transformation on him, which has been really impressive.
All right, our legend is coming up in a second. As I promised you, though, that the one and only Mr. Cool Cat Chongwe William is here. 0607080484, 0607080484. You can send us your WhatsApp voice notes. Otherwise, the number to dial in studio is 011-888-947.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Mamelodi Sundowns are the champions.
The Sundowns assistant coach, Coach Steve Khombela. Yeah, you play MTN8. You know what the trophy looks like there, right?
Exactly.
You play Nedbank Cup. You know what the trophy looks like there, right?
Exactly, sir.
You play Betway Premiership. Do you know what the trophy looks like?
I would be lying to say I know. We played MTN8, I know how it looks like. Nedbank, I know how it looks like. Even the Kali Black Label Cup, know how it looks. The Betway would be excited to say, let's see how this thing looks like. We are anticipating.
You're assuming that there is a trophy. What if it's a virtual?
Robert, beggars are no choosers.
Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW. Friday nights, always.
This is how we do it.
About our beloved legends. Pull up your chair. Let's chat legendary stuff. Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Yeah, always say it's unbelievable, man. And that is why tonight the spotlight shines brighter than ever, casting it low on a name forever etched in football royalty. I mean, get ready, guys. It's a journey through the highs and the thrills, the unwavering spirit of a man, though, who ruled the box like a king on his throne. That's why he's from the kingdom, man. He knows all about it. They call him the Cool Cat, but don't be deceived, though. There was absolutely nothing cool and kitty about him on the pitch. He was always a warrior in gloves, a guardian of the net with reflexes that kind of defied belief. You look at the presence that struck fear into the hearts of even the most ruthless of strikers, from acrobatic saves that left crowds pretty much gasping to the legendary battles that defied an era that we can never, ever forget. I mean, he wasn't just a goalkeeper, he was a force of nature, a true artist, a living legend of South African football. And that is why tonight we relive every heart-stopping moment, every heroic dive, and every roaring victory that cemented his place as an icon. So buckle up, guys. When I say buckle up, he was also scared of flying. I can tell you that much. Him and Deshi Backtower, always scared of flying. I don't know why. Something about goalkeepers and flying. Cool Cat Chongwe, William in his passport, William in his ID. Welcome to the show. You good?
Unbelievable.
Oh. The show is over. Let's go home.
Robert, I don't even want to start to express my gratitude at you having me on this show. You know, our careers are that short, Robert.
Yeah.
The sport that we love so much put us on such a pedestal, and then a few years later, it drops you to the ground like you've never been there.
Do you regret it?
Not at all, but having been experienced the highs of being there in the game, you know, sometimes to find yourself nowhere in that space, sometimes it does kind of hurt in a way. So I just want to thank you for the opportunity that you do take every now and then to bring some of the legends that graced this beautiful game in the way that they did, to have them or give them the opportunity to relive those moments.
Yeah.
You know, they go home, they get noticed again when at a time where most people would have forgotten them. Suddenly, even those that never watched us, and when they get to listen and hear our life story in the game, they kind of wonder, is it really true? Were you really like that? So, you know, you get asked those questions again, and that helps to relive those memories, and suddenly you realize just how important you were to the community of the game. So I just want to take the opportunity to say thanks to you that you are able to bring us the opportunity to relive those moments.
Thank you. Sure. Such kind words, William. I appreciate it. Maybe, and I hate to try and correct my elders because I always respect them so much. You said where we call the legends now and again. So those are the words I wanted to correct. It's not now and again. It's every Friday.
No, thank you.
It's every Friday.
Unfortunately, I don't get the opportunity to know every now and I'll gladly take the opportunity to be able to get into the radio even when I'm driving, to be able to listen to this.
You're too busy, I understand, man. You're flying to big places. You got big games to do. You got a big responsibility now as a broadcaster to bring you to bring us the brilliance from the knowledge that you have. And I am glad, for whatever reason, and I'll say this openly because sometimes people like to put individuals out to pasture even way before their time. But I am glad that they still keep you in the system. I am glad that I still get to hear you on television. I am glad that I still get to see you on television because I always say the older you go in terms of age, and you just recently celebrated your 62nd birthday, 63rd birthday in April. The older you grow, the wiser you become, the more knowledge and information you can share. So that is knowledge that me and everybody else we can never find. So I'm glad you're still there.
Thank you so much, Robert. I'm not sure how to respond to that one because every now and then I get the feeling that, you know what, the admiration, should I say, even the respect about what we do and the knowledge that you talk about that we have accumulated over the years seems like it's something that is fading away in some quarters, in a way. So, yes, it is true. The more you are at it, is the more you learn, is the more you grow, and the more you want to give because of what you have. But it's not always quite like that. And I'm glad and thankful.
But why would you feel like that? Why do you feel like you think it's coming to an end? I'm worried about that statement.
Like you were saying, the older you are, you start being viewed as...
No, the wiser you get. That was my...
Oh, the
saying.
wiser.
Yeah, I said the wiser you get. I don't know about
Unfortunately, the wiser statement that you make, it's also alongside a bit of age that comes along with it.
What has age got to do with anything? Can I tell you of a gentleman who's also been to Swaziland, who's also been to South Africa, I think for the first time when he covered the FIFA World Cup, not even the Club World Cup, in 2010, he was here. He's still a commentator for not only England, the UK, he is a global commentator. His name is Martin Tyler. You know him very well, right?
I actually had the privilege when South Africa was still preparing for the 2010 World Cup. England actually came to play South Africa in Durban. And him and Clive, who was the striker for Newcastle? A legend in England, yes. They had their commentary put alongside Martin Taylor just next door. You won't believe the excitement that I had.
Shearer.
Alan Shearer, that's right. Yes, exactly. So when we finished the game, I didn't even wait for the interviews to be honest. I just ran across and grouped the two of them.
Imagine.
So yes, I know him very well, Martin Taylor.
Okay, as I go to the break though, you said you were 63.
Yes.
Freshly 63.
Eish.
Do you have any idea how old Martin Tyler is?
I'm sure he's around the late 70s, if not the 80s.
79.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time. #MSW.
Do you sometimes feel like you're not reaching your full potential and often hitting a slump? Slowmag, the #1 magnesium supplement, helps you fight that constant feeling of tiredness and aids in rapid recovery after physical activity. Slowmag is available from leading retail pharmacy chains, selected retail stores, and independent pharmacies nationwide. Beat your slump with Slowmag. Visit slowmag.co.za for more. Get information on medicines without a prescription from the online medicine directory from your trusted source, Sapra.
The Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra is here. With nightography, you can shoot your best shot without worrying about grainy night footage, even in low lighting. Get it now for 1,249 per month for 36 months on MTN Yellow Plans Deluxe, with data to use whenever you want and minutes to call any network. Plus, get a free 1,500 Rand Samsung accessories voucher. T's and C's apply. Visit an MTN store or mtn.co.za now. Today, we make moves. MTN.
Honey, what are you doing?
I'm stretching for tonight.
I thought you're not dancing at bachelorette parties anymore.
Baby, we need the money to put Johnny through matriek mos.
And what's the police uniform for?
The clients feel safer when I wear it.
No, man, just sell your bucky to We Buy Cars. They give the best prices and they pay you within minutes.
Okay, but can I just go and dance one more time, please? You know how much I love it.
No, the buyer's already on his way here.
Wow, okay.
Strapped for cash? Just sell your vehicle to We Buy Cars. The easiest way to sell your car by far.
Managing your workforce shouldn't be complicated. That's why businesses choose Onacy, a proudly South African cloud-based payroll and HR solution. From payroll and e-recruitment to performance management and self-service tools, we streamline the way businesses handle their people. Scalable, secure, and always online, our system evolves with your needs because your workforce deserves the best. Switch to Onacy and experience payroll and HR done right. Visit onacy.com today.
Dear Journal, adulting, day 3,700 and whatever. Just bought a bunch of supplements I can't pronounce to try and fix my sleep schedule. What a game changer. So chuffed I spotted them when I was doom scrolling at 11:53 p.m.
Finally learning about mental health. Get covered at pineapple.co.za. It's convenient and like 19 Rand a day, so it's 100% the insurance for you. Underwritten by Old Mutual Alternative Risk Transfer Insurer Limited, licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP. Premiums are risk profile dependent.
Do you know where the biggest payouts on slot games are? They're at Lotto Star. Spin the reels now on our Real Rush slot games and stand a chance to win a massive payout of up to 30 million Rand instantly. You don't want to miss out on payouts this big. Hurry and head to lottostar.co.za, your world of live games.
Lottostar is licensed by the Mpumalanga Economic Regulator. No under 18. NRGP 0800 006 008. T's and C's apply. All games are fixed odds betting events.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Mamelodi Sundowns are the champions.
The Sundowns assistant coach, Coach Steve Khombela, please, the space is ready for the Champions League trophy to come with Steve Khombela, the technical team, some of the players as well. That is all that I'm asking you to grant us, sir.
The invitation will be declined. It would not be declined, but reasons will be forwarded. But if accepted, please leave the chair open for people who are so deserving to be roasted and be invited by you.
Roasted? So we don't run a restaurant here.
Never trust a man who says, trust me.
There's a lot of trust that has been earned through the years here, Khombela.
Rob, we've dealt with you for many years. You start on a hell of a nice footing. At the end of it, you'll either put one. If I'm sleeping, I'll go to bed with it. But if I'm awake, I'll be alert enough to deflect it. This one, I must deflect, but acknowledge that you said it.
You really trust me too much. Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW.
Hi, good evening, Madluputu, and good evening to my brother there, William, who we are having him today on your show. I just want to thank you today, Robert, to give me this opportunity to talk about my brother, William. Firstly, I'll start home, Eswatini, where he used to be a goalkeeper for Manzini Wanderers. William, they don't just call him Cool Cat for nothing, Robert. He was a cool and the cat with his sleepy eyes. That man, Robert, I thank God for him because whatever that he was doing or the job that he was at Manzini Wanderers as a goalkeeper, William played for that team, Manzini Wanderers, with dignity. And he came on to play for the national team of Eswatini, Sihlangu, with dignity. I used to like him with one thing, Robert. Whatever that he was doing, his job that he was employed for, you will take it serious. When you work at training, he does his thing very serious. That's why he made it at home. He made it in his time when he jumped over to come and join Kaizer Chiefs. Whatever great job that he did in Swaziland, he continued do it again in South Africa for the Glamour Boys, Kaizer Chiefs. It was my honor and privilege to work with him. Well, at home we're playing for different teams. He was playing for Manzini Wanderers. I was playing for Mbabane Highlanders. But I was very privileged and honored when I joined him this side at Kaizer Chiefs 1986. He came this side before me. And but again, Robert, you know, that used to be a great goalkeeper. I respect that man, and he have done it for the country, Eswatini, and he has made up again his name in SA. I'm so proud of him. William Kulket, I wish you all the best, my brother, in whatever that you are doing. God must just keep you, my brother. Wherever you touch on, it must be a glory to God. I know you're a believer, my brother. You love going to church, same like me. And keep up the good work, my brother. In whatever that you're doing, I wish you, God can just bless you again and again until your day. But keep up the good work. Whatever that you're doing now, I wish God can just help you, my brother. Thank you, Madluputu. Thank you, my brother, for giving me this opportunity to say one or two words to my brother, William. Thank you, brother, and have a good one.
A Shongwe to a Shongwe. That's how it works. Abel Shongwe. Thank you so much indeed. Sending his love and appreciation and applause to William Shongwe. How do you respond? I mean, he says your brother. A lot of people have always been confused through all these years. Are you guys blood brothers? Are you cousins? What is going on?
You won't believe it. O Baba, they're brothers. O Mama, they're sisters. Shongwe to Shongwe, Zwane to Zwane.
So what does that make it then?
Hey, when I was asking Robert. You'll be able to phrase it better for me. One time I said it's my cousin brother. Somebody says, are they cousin brother? It was always all confusing.
Yeah.
But we are brothers. Let's leave it at that for now.
Beautiful tribute. How do you respond to his tribute?
The incredible part about it is like even in Babane when we stayed in high school, his house was next door to ours. It was just so unique. Growing up together almost. The only part where we went different ways was when he joined the Highlanders. Obviously, he started from junior side of Babane Highlanders. And that's the only time where we went separate ways. Otherwise, throughout our careers and growing up, and it was just about the same thing. So that's why it's almost impossible to separate us. Yes, very grateful. He knows exactly where I come from and how it all started. And he followed my career throughout. Even he couldn't wait to come across.
No, he sounds happy though. One thing he said is that whatever it is that you're doing right now. So what is the whatever you're doing? Are you still linked with SuperSport United at all?
Not SuperSport United, but SuperSport the channel. Yes.
Okay. How do you feel about SuperSport United? Because you've previously been linked to them. And where they find themselves now, it's unbelievable the fact that you got Cape Town City and you've got SuperSport United in the wrong end of the table.
Maybe for some it might not be that easy to be able to explain it. I mean, from the time that just talking to the boss, Stanley Matthews, when he explained to me that their budget as SuperSport United was cut down to almost half, which made it difficult for them to continue to compete in the marketplace in as far as players are concerned. To keep the teams afloat, they had to continuously sell their best players. And as a result, they couldn't keep up the standard like they did. During Gavin's time, the first time he was there, when I was there with Gavin for those 8 seasons with him, we were able to buy quality. Gavin could ask for a player and Mr. Matthews would go on and get him for the club. And Gavin was able to play the type of football that suited the players, that suited his style. And unfortunately, that's not the case now. They were too dependent on young stars that still needed to gain a lot of experience. And unfortunately, even those youngsters, they kept just taking them away. I mean, just recently, Campbell I thought he was the brightest star that has come through the ranks at SuperSport United. And they, in one season, he was gone. And that has been the trend throughout. I mean, if you look at the best goalkeeper in the country right now, Ronnie Williams, I mean, the list is just endless in as far as how many players have been taken from the club. So it becomes difficult sometimes to continue to sell and not being able to replace with the same quality that you're able to sell. So,
but you've got an academy as well. So that is, for me, what doesn't make sense. So SuperSport United, in the same way that Stellenbosch have got an academy and they've got this feeding trough of players that are coming through. Ikram Reyners, top goal scorer right now at Sundowns, top player at Stellenbosch. Jaden Adams comes to Sundowns. Stellenbosch still flourish. They are playing on the African continent. There's no problem. So at the end of the day is that when you sell a Chandre Campbell, for example, and you make a lot of money, what are you doing with that money if you are a selling club?
You keep the teams afloat. There's so many obviously requirements financially that's to help the club with the budget that was cut. So yes, you talk about the development, but it takes time for those players to be able to gain the experience to compete effectively to help to keep the team afloat. In the first 2 years, it's like just you investing, and you need to be able to blend those young players with quality, experienced players just to keep the team afloat. And then in the third year, that if you look at those players that you mentioned right now, they have been there for a number of years before they could shine the way they are shining right now to help the team. So unfortunately, SuperSport recently wasn't the case.
Yeah, let's shine the spotlight on you because you're the main hero here today. We'll chat about other things on another day and another time. 1988, there's a gentleman who is an England international FIFA World Cup player. He is a Manchester United legend. His name is Gary Bailey.
Yes.
He comes to Kaizer Chiefs. People don't believe that. They see him and they're like, what on earth is going on? How can Kaizer Chiefs afford to have Gary Bailey there? But, William Shong is there. William Shong is number one, So how do we fit this gentleman in? That transition, and for you, hey, come on, you must have been a bit starstruck as well to say Gary Bailey, Man United, now at Kaizer Chiefs. Tell me more about just that fitting in a superstar like him.
I remember 1978. Already, okay, let me just put this straight up, Robert. We had TV in Eswatini before you guys. So I had the privilege to watch Gary Bailey play for Manchester United then, and probably maybe Martin Taylor, I didn't even know who was the commentator. He kept saying Gary Bailey from South Africa. Roy Bailey was his dad, of course, and may his soul rest in peace. And you won't believe the moments I had with Gary Bailey, even before when they came to Eswatini as Manchester United to play Tottenham. I forced my way to get into an occasion that was made for fans those that could afford. I spent my last few cents or rands or emalangeni to be able to get into that function just to meet Gary Bailey. That was 1983.
84, yeah.
83, 84.
Yeah.
Yeah, 83 was the first year they come. I'm out of action. I broke my arm in beginning of 83. I'm out of action completely, but I love Gary Bailey so much that I just wanted to get in there. And guess what? He blessed me with his Patrick boots. There were those boots at the time, I think it was for...
with the P, like
yes. I was there in that room, and Gary Bailey took the opportunity to give me those boots of his, not knowing that some years later we'll bump into one another. But let me tell you the situation. What happens in 1987? I had my finger, which I had about 3 operations on this finger. This one here, Robert.
Yeah, the one that still is pointing in many directions.
Exactly. And I have a plastic joint here. So the problems in 1987 was such that we lost the league based on this finger because I used to get injections from like about August. I couldn't train because the finger was so painful. I couldn't train. I was just running around the field only on the day of the game. And before I could play, the doctor could inject me. And eventually, this finger got so numb that I couldn't feel the ball. And they would wrap the finger with some bandages and then squeeze the glove through for me just to be able to try and make the best in as far as catching the ball. But it got so numb that the ball could rebound. I remember one of those goals in Durban against Bushbuck, the last game. Yeah. It rebounded from my hand. It could have been a normal catch for me, but the ball rebounded because the hand is numb now. And that's when the decision was made that this man needs to have a serious operation so that he could help him. That was when Gary Bailey came. And really, everybody thought that was the end of me.
But it wasn't.
Unbelievable.
But it wasn't, though, because there's one thing about Jeff Butler, the coach then of Kaizer Chiefs, is that he was able to rotate the goalkeepers to make you happy and at some point to make Gary happy. And I go back to one of the seasons, though, in 89, and Jeff Butler used all three goalkeepers in one season. He gave Gary Bailey 28 games. He gave you, Shongwe, 16, and Brian Perry had 5 games to play. And managed all the egos.
Yeah.
How did you fit in? I mean, how did you find that working?
I'll tell you, beginning of 1989, Gary Bailey, this is another story. Wow. Yeah. End of 88, Gary Bailey gets married, and then he goes overseas
He went on honeymoon.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the season starts. Gary Bailey is not back. I play this particular, by myself. We win this particular. And then the PP Cup, top 8 comes. And we play. He arrives in the middle of that competition. So Jeff Butler says, okay, this man has played well. And we've already got a cup. And now we're into the semifinals of PP top 8. And so, Barry, just hold the line a little bit. You know, I know you're my number one, but let him continue. Let's see how far he can go. We win the PP top 8. And then we start the league. And we're not losing. We keep winning. And we start now the Olsen's Challenge.
Yes.
Was the next cup after the BP. And I'm still winning. And we win the Olsen's. And now Gary Bailey becomes very uncomfortable now. And the next thing I read is a Friday. I see the Star. Gary Bailey to start the next day. I'm like, huh? Ganjan. So the coach uses this word. He says, I cannot keep a goalkeeper of Gary Bailey's caliber indefinitely on the bench. I didn't know what indefinitely meant at that time. So I went to look for the word in a dictionary.
Collins Dictionary.
So there it was. And I was like, okay, so now he explains that he'll rotate. And that's when the rotation started from. And it went on, of course, that became the trend at Kaizer Chiefs. And just as well that we went on to win the league. And we won 4 cups that season. We swept the board, and it was one of our best seasons. One of the few squads that won 4 cups in one season was that one in 1989. So it worked well, it worked brilliantly. But I am proud to say I kept Gary Bailey on the bench. Oh, man, that was one of the highest moments for me.
So repeat that, you kept what?
I kept Gary Bailey on the bench.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time. #MSW.
Do you sometimes feel like you're not reaching your full potential and often hitting a slump? Slowmag, the #1 magnesium supplement, helps you fight that constant feeling of tiredness and aids in rapid recovery after physical activity. Slowmag is available from leading retail pharmacy chains, selected retail stores, and independent pharmacies nationwide. Beat your slump with Slowmag. Visit slowmag.co.za for more. Get information on medicines without a prescription from the online medicine directory from your trusted source, Sapra.
South Africa runs on you, the business owners. Without you, nothing moves. And that's why we built Lula, South Africa's first business-only banking suite to give you the support you need. From faster access to funding to unlimited EFTs for a single fee and skilled relationship bankers ready to help your business grow. Visit lula.co.za and experience business class banking and funding today. Powered by Access Bank. T's and C's apply.
Shape your degree, your future, your career. The IIE MSA campus in the West Rand is the largest private higher education campus in South Africa, with a unique and exciting student experience, world-class facilities, on-campus residences, and a wide range of study areas to choose from. Applications for 2026 are open. Inquire now at ieemsa.co.za. IIEMSA is a leading brand of the Independent Institute of Education, a registered higher education provider.
No matter how you show your confidence, make sure you feel great in your skin with Nivea Rich Nourishing Body Lotion. Now with 100% pure hyaluron. Experience our next level nourishment this winter and say goodbye to ashy, dry skin and hello to the glow with soft, smooth, and deeply nourished skin all day long. New Nivea Rich Nourishing Body Lotion, now with 100% pure hyaluron. Nivea, SA's #1 body care brand.
That V word on your receipts. A big fat 15%. It feels like your rand's always doing a runner. But there's another V, one adding real value. This May, Volvo is saving you 15% on selected vehicles, like the XC60 starting from 840,140. With 15% back in your pocket, this V is where it's at. With Volvo, it's safe to be brave. Offer valid until 31 May 2025. Contact your nearest dealer to book a test drive. T's and C's apply.
Josie, your My Josie My Spa budget booster is back. And it's bigger than ever. Only valid on the 15th and 16th of May. So don't miss it. Get 4 kg Omo Auto washing powder or 3 litre Omo Auto liquid for just 120 Rand each. Or stock up on 900 gram Lonswood pre-packed cheese. Buy any 2 for only 250 Rand. This is your chance to save big, Josie. Rewards prices valid at Johannesburg Spa and Super Spa stores only.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Robert, ku-MSW kahle kahle eqinisweni sifunda isilungu.
When I always say burdens and blessings are cousins.
Sifunda into eziningi.
And if the driver is not sober, the road and the car will suffer.
No Steve manje isilungeni esikhulumayo mfethu.
If the car is not impeccable, the road and the driver are going to suffer.
Manje nangu sofuna ukungikhalisa mfethu wenze into yakabheshini mahlangu ayi road Marawa man. MSW.
Wow.
The best in the world. I don't care who says what. The best in the world. I don't care who says what. That's a founder every day. That is why it is worldwide. Definite. No doubt. Thank you, Roberto. We love you, my brother. You know, even if you don't love cricket or you don't love rugby or tennis, but you simplify, my brother. Sabonga mfethu.
I say you the best. You the best. You the best. You the best.
Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW. Friday nights, always.
This is how we do it.
About our beloved legends.
Pull up your chair.
Let's chat legendary stuff. Marawa Sports
Hi,
Worldwide.
Robert. Hi, Willie. Robert, you are with a great man today, William Shongwe. William Shongwe, Escaratintwa, Abel Shongwe, those became good friends of mine at Kaizer Chiefs. And Willie was a kitten before he became a cool cat. And he believed in everything that I would tell him. And we used to always take a mickey out of them. And Willie, I remember in most cases when he just was amazed at something in Gauteng. I would tend or twist the story, but you would believe it. But we were very close. That being said, Willie loved his sleep. Every time he gets an opportunity, after breakfast, after pre-match meal, or on our way to the game, just a nap. I mean, I know you're allowed 1 or 2 naps in a day, but he would just nap after every action. He was very funny. And when Gary Bailey came, by the way, to Kaizer Chiefs, what was very interesting is that Gary Bailey played in all the big cities, but William Shongwe would keep goals at your Kwakwa, at Putadichaba, and all the small dorpies where Gary Bailey wouldn't come with us. And when it comes to cup finals, obviously they would be happening in big cities. So I just want him to share with us, Robert, how he felt when he really wasn't always there for that reason. He knows that this one is number one when it comes to the big finals and the big cities, despite how well he would be keeping goals. So, Willie, tell us that. Sorry, I was always close to the truth when we grow up, but they call it lying, but we were just playing. We were being playful at the time.
Oh, the Smolanyana Dorpis, Willie. Yeah, we touched on that, Mafa, but you know what? I love it when legends themselves, like Mafama Punyane, come on and shower praises on a living legend who's live in studio.
Hi Robs, Madluputsu. Masibonge kuba tonight you with this legend William Cool Cat Shong. Aziki Cool Cat lezi zakudala Robs. Ngesikhathi ebona magazine awunkosi yami. Magama akudala lawa, but he was or he is very cool when it comes to being a human being. William mtsana abantu nkosi yami lunge kakhulu mtimanze ba wena wetulu. So but when it comes to personality ka William, one will always like it because you like to associate with a person of his caliber. People with humility. You can see that this one was really or is grounded, although he was playing for his national team. Kodwa William bengasikhukhumezi, ube umuntu njalo ophansi. I enjoyed playing with William, and William being my teammate, and William preaching us at times, telling us about God. Angazi noma isandla sakhe sesalunga iminwe le fingers. Those fingers, I think they ended up being problematic for him, unless otherwise besimbetha ngempela uCool Cat training. But generally William, as he's called Cool Cat, he was really, or he is really, a cool cat. The only problem I had with him, it was one time when he was when he started at SuperSport. He was analyzing the game. I don't remember which goal, I don't recall which game, but afterwards I gave him a shout and said, William, please, when you analyze, you will have to be analytical, because angikwazi ukuthi when I'm seated at home watching the game, you are telling me what I see. You need to tell me why the situation or the scenario that led to a goal. How did that happen? Who did what and what? So I think he stopped, because after that he was very much magnificent to hear or listen to him when he was when he is even now analyzing the game. Ukhulile William ngembono yami, but unfortunately ke Robert he doesn't even give me a percentage, Thank you so much William. Akuphilise uThixo akwandisele nezinsuku, and you wish you well in all your endeavors. Out. Love and peace. Fani Madid.
Hey, Didiza.
Lalela Robert. Lento I show you. We were doing, it was in 2002.
Yeah.
It's the World Cup in Germany. I'm trying to remember exactly where it was, if it wasn't in Germany. And no funny matter in studio.
Yeah.
And hey, ngiyamlalela lo muntu man. Hey, nami ngiyazama. Kodwa hey nakathi uyabeka ufana matita. Hey ngiyezwa man ukuthi I like what he's doing.
Yeah.
Uyazi ukuthi I went into class, I went into a coaching class. Like fully fledged, I've got my coaching badge because of Fani Matita, because of the things that he was saying. I wanted to imitate him. I wanted to understand the game better. He's the one that provoked me. And of course, every now and then he'll call me, say, hi, utagiweke manje. Uyamazi ufana mita uzuluma kansi nje ukhuluma nje anyhow. So but he helped me, and I took it serious. I really wanted to do these things right. And like I said, I had to spend time in class. I've got a coaching page not because I wanted to coach as such, but I wanted to understand the game better. Yes, I played at a high level, but I also wanted to speak the game better.
But all he's saying is that you haven't given them a percentage. Oh, I love it, man. And, talk about, I think that was our last time we even qualified for a World Cup, Japan, South Korea.
Japan, South Korea, that's right, yes.
And, let's leave it there.
Evening, Rob. Baba Shongwe, Ndimanzi. Always, when I see a Cool Cat, it reminds me of my brother-in-law when we were growing up. They used to call William Shongwe Cool Cat. So we didn't understand English. So you will say, by Cool Cat, they are referring to this big cat. the cool cat. So we grew up knowing that cool cat means a big cat. But then when we started understanding the word cool, so I always laugh when I meet this brother-in-law who said cool cat means a big cat. But anyway, Shongwe, I watched Shongwe when he was playing for Kaizer Chiefs Pirates. I don't know whether it's Arcadia Shippers, the other one, but I watched Shongwe and he was a very good goalkeeper. And I was with him at Supersport when he was working there. So big up my brother. Keep well. It's Petros from Eploke.
Hey, Petros, thank you so much indeed. And I do urge everybody that's watching on the YouTube channel, or even if you haven't been there today, is that very uniquely, and again, we've got to thank the team for the innovation, is that they got all these photos. So if you're wondering and thinking, cool cat playing football, I just know him as a commentator and an analyst, is that you can see a whole array, an entire array of his playing days, his life as a football player back then. So yeah, we're going to try the best we can. You know, sometimes these photos that were taken with very dodgy cameras, the pictures are not that great. But all I'm saying is that on our part, guys, big up.
Hi, Robert. This is Mtusi Maeba from Pretoria. So we say hi to the legend in the studio. Hi, Mr. Shonge. One of the guys that actually, inspired me to study sports. I've always liked his English accent. I've always found it really cool. Long live the legend. I just want to actually ask, how did he find the transition from moving to Kaizer Chiefs? Moving from Kaizer Chiefs to Orlando Pirates back in the day, obviously. So, thank you.
Very quickly, because we are running out of time. You moving, and you did something unique. Playing for Chiefs, playing for Pirates, playing for Swallows, the big three. So we're two big three. You managed that. But obviously, I think Swallows was more your pension.
Yes.
Yeah, that was more your pension.
That's right.
Yeah. But moving from Chiefs to Pirates, how was that?
Unfortunately, Robert, when you talk about time, some of these things you need to lay it out in clearly.
I know.
But
yes, now.
This is what happens now. Nyapenduga, Robert, I become converted, I become a Christian, which meant now there are certain things that I couldn't do. Like my conversion was really, really serious. So now, ngokusho ukuthi angisathinti izinto ezithile.
Umuthi.
kahle.
Let's not izinto ezithile. Let's get straight to it.
So
you can't get into a bath.
So the muti man goes to tell the coach, athi lo muntu lona akasafuna ukusenza izinto zami uzoqeda. And if the club idliwa, that is going to be fired. So ama players, they always survive these things. But so ngithi mina kumele salumbhentsha manje. Yasuka ke indaba kwaze kwafika nase office. I had to sit with the board bonke baphelele to explain my case. And uBrake wagcina athi hayi yazini asenze so sizobuya kuwe. But in Kurumubabungema, in one of those moments, they said I must write a letter actually defining my position that I've taken. The following week, I came back to the board to present the letter. Hey, Ubabungema, ngiyamkhumbula, may you soul rest in peace. I'm fine. Hey, Maswazi, afike goli. Akasafuna ukusenza imuti. Ha, wena abelungu, Neil Tovi, Mark, no Shane McGregor basebenza wena umuntu omnyama ufuna ukusenza umuthi. So but that's how serious it was for me. But eventually I got sidelined. Must be very honest, that was so
for refusing to use muti,
the coach basically had to make that decision, and I must
sideline you.
Yes, I must put Braque aside because they were going to come back to. Unfortunately, when you had given a coach the responsibility, it becomes hard to interfere. So eventually, I read in the paper. In fact, I never even read it in the paper. I got a call that I need to go meet the chairman of Orlando Pirates, Ivan Koza, downtown. Abisa Sebenza here in office just opposite the Carlton Center.
Yes, by TG Sport.
Yeah. So. Ngiyafika laphana it was I remember they looked for me for the whole week and it's a Thursday. So athi lalela ke Mr. Shonga, you are now an Orlando Pirates player. We are on a mission at Orlando Pirates. We are going to turn the situation around. These Pirates that you see today, they were position 18 at the time.
Yes.
We are better. You are the first of the signings to Orlando Pirates that are going to rebuild this team. And by the way, This is your salary. Don't even ask questions. It's a done deal.
How much is it?
I don't want to go there. But it was better. It was better than
That
what
was
I
in
had.
1902, Baba. You can tell me this thing.
Lalela. No, Robert. Angwazi. No, this one is mine.
Hey, Robert, you've got one of the best in town. You know, a true legend. You know, his ardent, supporters would say, William, the cool cat, Shongwe. Hey, Willie, how's it, bro? It's been time since we last spoke, man. But for that, bro, I carry regret. But today, I just want to remember the moments we shared, Willie, the lessons you taught me, and the indelible, mark you have left on those, fortunate enough to have known your brother. Robert, when we were teammates at Chiefs, William was this kind of a person who never cared for any spotlight to shine. William always led by example from the back as a goalkeeper. He displayed his relentless work ethic, his willingness to lift others up was just, amazing. I remember one incident in the dressing room against Orlando Pirates when everybody was just yelling, shouting, screaming at one another in pursuit for results. Robert, the dressing room at that time was just vociferous. And William, with his given powers, he came down to us and calmed us down and said to us, guys, the true strength of teamwork is not about being loudest in the room. He said to us, it was about our consistency in play, our communication in play, our telepathy in play, humility, and strong belief.
I've got to catch you there, Captain. I've got to catch you there, Professor. Ntsiyama Pike. No better storyteller, no better player than him back in his day. And I appreciate that. That's why I was saying to you that, hey, man, this thing called Iskati becomes a problem. But you were at a critical stage of saying, and again I repeat that in 1990 you refused to use Umuti. In 1991 you were gone. There was a certain Congolese gentleman by the name of Potende Eshele who then came through and took over the reins. But let me remind you that you, William Mpumelelo Shongwe, are a league champion in 1989 and as well as 1991. You're a mainstay cup winner in 1987, BP top 8 in 87, 88, 89 and 90, Olsen's Cup in 87, Castle Challenge in 1990, 92, JPS 1986 and 87. You lifting trophies is a beautiful thing. And that's what your life's journey was about. All I'm saying to you, Mr. Shongwe, unless you apply again via another visa to come back again and continue this, because there's so many voice notes left unplayed tonight. But all we wanted to say to you directly is that we appreciate everything that you ever did as a human being on the field, the kind of role model you became, all the great words that the Abel Shongwes, Max Mapunyane, the Fanny Madidas, the Ntsiyama Pikes have said to us, as well as all the shareholders of this show. We echo those and say to you, continue doing the great job within the broadcasting sphere. We listen, we watch, and we are educated by you, sir. So never ever take yourself any lightly, because you are valued. People love you. I said this off air. You are loved by so many people, and carry that with you wherever you go. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much, Robert. It was an honor and a privilege to be on your show. And once again, keep up the good work.
Please say those magic words. We gotta go. It is so
unbelievable.
Marawa Sports Worldwide is back on air on Monday. Proudly brought to you, unbelievably, by Hollywood Bets.
The thrill, the drama, the action. Play the game again. Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets. Hashtag MSW. Live now on 947, Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live. At the same time. Hashtag MSW.